Servus und Hallo.
Hello, this is Anya again, and I welcome you to another episode of the BBQ Lady. Today we have a light and fluffy dessert, the coconut cherry cloudlets. The reason why I present this to you, what would a great barbecue be without an awesome dessert? If you don't want to miss another episode, then please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell as well so that we'll always stay connected. And now, have a lot of fun watching the video. First off, I will tell you how I came up with the idea of the coconut cherry cloudlets. Some of you may know coconut macaroons. I got inspired by them because I want them to be one of the layers in my coconut cherry cloudlets. Because you also may know the desserts that are served in a glass in which you layer the dough, the cream, as well as some fruits. Sometimes instead of a dough you also take, for example, cookies as a layer. But today I want to make the dough for the cherry coconut cloudlets myself. Therefore we are going to make a kind of coconut macaroon dough. I think coconut can always be served, and not only during Christmas, even in summertime. So it's going to be a nice refreshing dessert. Because for the cream we have curd and a coconut cream, which you see here. This will be the foundation for the whole cream, which I will barely sweeten up because usually you don't apply any sugar. It's going to be a very light cream with a cherry filling. You see, a cherry layer will also be there. Hence the name coconut cherry cloudlets. And it's called cloudlets simply because the dough is supposed to be fluffy, which it hopefully will be. I would say we start step by step. You are seeing a lot of ingredients, but I'm not going to introduce every single one right now. You find them in the description box anyway. First we take care of the dough, which has to go on the grill. But you can, as always with my recipes, also put it in the oven. For the dough we need 4 egg whites. And for the remaining yolk of the egg, you may find some use such as scrambled eggs later on, or even keep them and use them the next day. In addition to the eggs, some lemon juice, obviously coconut flakes, where we will add some sugar, because we do want the dough to be a little bit sweet. My grandmother always said a hearty dough needs pinch of sugar, in a sweet dough a pinch of salt, and therefore I will add a pinch of salt and cling to my grandmother's advice. Now I will add the egg whites into a tall jar, and then we will see each other shortly to whisk the eggs. Alright, I prepared the mixer and added the egg whites into a tall jar. You have to be careful that no egg yolk gets into the jar, but you will surely succeed on this as I did as well. If not, then you just have to take a spoon and carefully take the egg yolk out. The reason, if there is any yolk in the egg white, it won't become as stiff when whisking it. Okay, let's add the juice of a half lemon into it. It's going to get a bit loud because I will start whisking. It should not be stiff all the way, because now I want to gradually add some sugar. And the sugar dissolves better when it's not totally stiff. Fine, the egg white is stiff now. You can see that because it stays at the top if turning upside down. And you can also see it when you can cut through it with a knife. Now I will add my coconut flakes and stir them in there. Smells really nice. I already have placed a baking sheet with baking paper ready in front of me. I also prepared it with a parchment paper, which is where we will add the coconut egg white mess on top of, and then we will spread it thin. I would say we'll see each other outside at the grill. Alright, the grill is preheated to around 150 to 160 degrees Celsius, which is 300 to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Be careful with the heat when it is about this dough. A little less is more sometimes, if you know what I mean. The dough will now be placed in indirect heat on the grill. Close the lid and let it bake for around 25 minutes. Meanwhile, we take care of the cherry layer. You can imagine this preparation to be like the preparation of pudding. You obviously drip off the cherries, but save the juice for later. And you also place some cherries aside for decoration purposes. At first we add some starch, namely 2 tablespoons of starch. The starch goes into a mug. You can imagine it to be just like the pudding powder. And gradually we pour in some of the cherry juice. Not too much, so it doesn't clump up. You see how you can easily dissolve it. Without any clumps, this is ready now. And you can also see a pot on the side burner of the grill. Here I will put in the rest of the cold cherry juice, which I will start boiling. You can think of this like boiling milk when making pudding. Alright, the cherry juice is boiling. What you will see happening now is something you may know from the preparation of a Black Forest cherry cake filling. Maybe I'll do such a Black Forest cherry cake video recipe for you guys in near future. It is very famous in Germany where I live. And as one can see, it becomes thick. Then we have to cut off the heat, maybe let it boil just a little bit. And into that, the cold cherries find their way in, which I will mix in as well. While the cherries are cooling off outside, I will make the coconut cream, and this is actually really easy. We add the curd in a bowl. By the way, this is a dessert which you can prepare rather quickly. Also, we add the coconut cream as well as the rubbing of a half lemon. Let me taste the cream really quick. Very good. For those people who think it isn't sweet enough, you could also add a little bit of sugar. I want to not sweeten it any further, but we will add a little bit of vanilla sugar later because I will add some cream for which I have a mix of stiff cream and vanilla sugar. Just a hint of vanilla. Now I've whipped the cream stiff, and just as with the cherries, I will keep some for decoration purposes. Maybe around 3 to 4 tablespoons. I will put it into the decoration bag here, which I will put into the fridge. The cream is added into the curd mix as well, which makes it even fluffier. Wonderful! Finally we are ready to start filling the dessert glasses after checking the dough. 25 minutes have passed. Let's have a look at the coconut macaroon dough. Ah, it turned a little bit brown on the sides, which I don't really want to have. I want the dough to stay bright, which I think is really nice in combination with the cherries, and therefore the dough shouldn't be so brown. You can, however, decide this for yourself. Maybe you have a little doubt about the cooking time of the eggs in the dough, then just bake it longer. That will not cause any issue. I will take the dough off the grill, but first turn the grill off. Fine, the dough is now a little bit colder. I took it off the parchment paper with a knife, and it did break a little bit, but this doesn't matter because we only need the broken pieces of it. I will crumble it in the dessert glass anyway. The cherry mix has also chilled down. Let's start by layering. Cream, cherries, dough. Cream, cherries, dough. And this is what I will do now. Oh, and also I've got some advice. Maybe you own a thick funnel. I sadly don't, which is why I formed it out of tin foil. This is supposed to make that the layers are nice and smooth without any splashes on the glass. We will add the cream into it, only a little though, because it should be something really light which you can serve towards the end of your barbecue menu. Here we add, let's say around 3 tablespoons. Then the cherries, which also make a really nice color. I also try placing them towards the sides so that you can see them from the outside. Now it's about the dough layer. Here I just crumble the coconut dough into it as well. As you can see, the dough is absolutely perfect. Alright, and now it's cream, cherries, dough again. I'm also going to add some white chocolate. For doing so, take a knife and scrape it off of the block of chocolate. The chocolate tastes wonderful and also looks beautiful. Also, we are going to add a little bit of color by adding some pistachios. To the end, we place one single cherry on top. Now, what do you say? Do you like it? I think that you can definitely serve it to your guests. I will place it outside now. There it is cold so that it can become a little tighter. I would say we will see each other for tasting. I'm excited. Alright, now you saw how I prepared the coconut cherry cloudlets. I've let it get a little bit tighter and now I will taste test it. I'm very excited. Creamy, light. Wonderful. The sweetness is definitely sufficient. Tastes really good and sweet, but not too sweet. The cream has almost none sugar in there, but I think it's very good how that is all in harmony with each other. The pistachios are good, the white chocolate thaws in your mouth. Cream is good anyway. I really recommend that you try this out at home. I think you really can't go wrong with this. Coconut cherries, everybody likes that. Even kids can be impressed with this. And for the adults, if you want something special, I would recommend adding a shot of cherry liquor. But I'm confident that you will come up with alternatives as well. I would be happy if you let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions or ideas to make this recipe an even better one. I would also be really happy about a thumbs up as well as a subscription if you haven't done so yet. If you subscribe, we will always stay in contact. Your BBQ Lady. Have a good time.